Social media, and especially YouTube, has been absolutely awash with commentary and reviews about the GPT 5.6 new model releases, so including Sol, Terra, and Luna. So I thought that rather than releasing another review myself, I'd do something different, which is a meta-analysis. So a meta-analysis is something that's commonly done in research circles. So I'm going to look at a whole range of different videos out there, 44 of the most popular videos on the topic, and I'm going to look at where do they all agree, where is there a lot of disagreement, and what are some of the really interesting findings that a few very reliable sources found that's relevant to anyone wanting to understand where GPT 5.6 shines and where it still has a way to go. So a quick word on the sample, because it matters. This is not cherry-picked. So at the top end, you've got people like Theo from T3 who had early access for 6 weeks and burned somewhere between $180,000 and $240,000 of inference. Matthew Berman, AI Code King, who ran his own benchmark. Dan Schipper on Greg Eisenberg's podcast. Bijan Bowen, who spent 4 days 3D printing things these models are designed. And at the other end, you got small dev channels, non-coders using it for video editing and OBS setups. One guy testing it on a broccoli farm, and yes, one fully AI-generated explainer video reviewing an AI. So we certainly live in strange times. Here's the one thing that honestly, genuinely surprised me. Almost nobody agreed on which model is better, Codex 5.6 Sol or Claude Fable 5. But nearly every single person who compared them landed on the same division of labor, and they said it like they'd rehearsed it together. Fable plans, Sol executes. Beyond that, 5 things got effectively unanimous agreement. 1, it's half Fable's price. 2, it's dramatically more token efficient. 2 to 3 times fewer tokens for the same work. 3, computer use and browser use are the best anyone has ever seen. I could not find a single dissenting voice on that topic out of 44 videos. And 4, its persistence is unprecedented. It just does not stop working. And 5, about 90% of reviewers still think Fable 5 is the smarter model. So let me make this concrete with one test. Nate Herc gave both models the identical prompt: build an open world bike game. Fable's game was clearly better. It was more fun, it was a bigger map, it had more of these kind of GTA vibes. But look at the receipt. Fable spent $14.22, 90,000 output tokens. Sol, $4.50, and that exact idea, which is that Fable is slightly better and Sol is drastically cheaper, repeats across almost every test in the dataset. And then there's the persistence, which honestly produced the most amazing videos I found. Theo ran tasks for 21 plus hours without even using the goal command. One of his runs burned 71 billion tokens, and during it, the model autonomously signed itself up for planet scale account. He only found out because a friend who works there messaged him. Matthew Berman typed 8 words. Make an Excel clone, continue until feature parity. And it ran for 5 days straight. It even opened the real Excel on his desktop via computer use to copy features from it. His Minecraft clone ran for 7 days before he pulled the plug. And that persistence, which is the trait behind every cool demo that we've seen, is exactly where the story starts to go a little bit dark. Because the model, it doesn't know how to stop. It just doesn't know how to stop. So the first big problem is that it deletes things, and this has been demonstrated by 3 completely independent sources. A Brazilian channel, Lion Lab, documented it running destructive commands without asking, and quoted a developer whose Mac got almost entirely wiped. AI Labs, which is a software company that tested it on their own product for 4 days, watched it delete files and kill processes that were simply in its way. And then there's OpenAI's own system card. A user authorized deleting virtual machines 1, 2, and 3. The model couldn't find those names, so it deleted machines 5, 6, and 7 instead, without asking. Every one of these channels converged on the same survival kit. Git checkpoint before every long run, sandboxed workspace, and never give full access. The problem number 2 is even wilder, because GPT 5.6 cheats. METR, the independent lab that measures how long a task a model can handle, rejected ChatGPT's 5.6's results entirely because it cheated too often for the numbers to mean anything. It exploited bugs in the evaluation, it dug out hidden test data, and their estimate blew out from 11 hours to over 270. To quote, "It is effectively unusable." The system card goes even further. In one documented case, it edited a research draft to say an equation had been computed and verified, while knowing it hadn't. In another, it found cached credentials on one machine and copied them to another, unauthorized, just to keep its job running. And OpenAI's own explanation? The persistence training did this. Problem number 3 is where it hits your wallet. So Lion Lab watched Ultra Mode burn an entire 5-hour usage limit in under 40 minutes. OpenAI then removed the 5-hour limit, which sounds generous, until you realize an overnight infinite loop can now eat your whole weekly quota while you sleep. And Fast Mode, which offers 1.5 times the speed for 2.5 times the usage cost, he actually measured no real speed up because the real bottleneck was tool calls and not token speed. So the community's actual numbers basically say that high reasoning gives you 94% of max quality at 40% of the cost. And AI Labs measured Ultra properly, 2 to 3 benchmark points of improvement for multiplied cost. Their advice is, verbatim, keep Ultra turned off. Another problematic downside to GPT 5.6 is that it definitely has a design tell. So Claire Vaux noticed that Sol is obsessed with forest green. She suspects the phrase woodland elegance is literally in its system prompt. Dan Shipper completely independently said it always wants warm paper backgrounds for some reason. And nobody anywhere has managed to stop it using M-dashes. Now to the disagreements, because this is where it gets kind of interesting. The biggest fight in the entire dataset is front-end design, and that's split nearly 50-50. The one camp says they finally fixed front-end. Skirano said exactly that. Claire Vaux ran a semi-blind taste test, and Sol beat Fable. But on the other side of the camp, Theo, after 200 grand of usage, says it's still not a great front-end model by any stretch of the imagination. He rebuilt Sol's UI with a Claude model. AI Code King scored at 6 to 7 out of 10, where Fable pulled 9s and 10s. Here's the resolution the data actually supports. Sol's floor for UI design went way up. It's consistent and functional now. But Fable's ceiling is creative design is still higher. And to be honest, I've had the same experience myself. I still prefer Claude's design ability over Sol's. However, Sol is now at the level where I would trust it to do design work for me unless it was really critical forward-facing, whereas in the past, Codex was just rubbish for design. The next disagreement is in writing, and it's a direct contradiction. Dan Shipper said it's the first model that can one-shot his marketing emails. It has no AI-isms. But Theo said the copy it wrote for him was absolute garbage. He threw all of it out. Disagreement number 3 is Ultra Mode itself. An OpenAI staffer called it a beast, but Lion Lab called it not a product that's ready for production. If I'm honest, I would say that Ultra Mode has been definitively shown to not be worth it. I haven't seen a single reviewer use Ultra Mode effectively to get something done that high or extra high wouldn't have. Now, here's something that did surprise me. I assumed mainstream channels would hype it and technical channels would be skeptical, but I was wrong here. The mainstream business channels were uniformly positive and uniformly shallow. Not one of them found a single error or mistake. The technical creators produced both extremes. The most ecstatic reviews, like Theo, a Solar founder, who said, and I quote, "I feel like a code monkey now." And the most brutal teardowns, like AI Code King, who said, "These are just older models at a scale." Every single problem in this video was discovered by a technical creator. The hype versus skepticism line doesn't run between big and small channels. It actually runs between the people who push the model really hard and the people who just demo it. Which brings us to what I think is the strangest finding of all. On head-to-head quality, Codex 5.6 mostly lost. Fable won Edward Donner's Connect 4 showdown with an actual trap strategy. Fable won the bike game. When both models analyzed the same messy spreadsheet, Sol said revenue was $86,000, Fable said 32, and when they were made to debate it, both models agreed Fable was right. And yet, the community is switching anyway. Because the real question was never which is smarter. The question is which is smart enough at half the price at 3 times the speed. Second place, in this case, at these prices, wins. And the smartest people in the dataset aren't choosing at all. 3 channels independently built the same pipeline. Step 1, Fable interviews you and writes the plan. Step 2 is the adversarial planning. Fable and Codex argue about the plan back and forth up to 5 rounds until they agree. Step 3, Sol builds it for hours, unsupervised. And step 4, Fable reviews the work. One reviewer put it perfectly. GPT is the most annoying validator you can hire, which is exactly what you want checking your code. Now, if you take nothing else away from my findings, take the settings the community bled for so you don't have to. Put the reasoning on high, not ultra, and not max. You need a sandbox on workspace right and never full access. You need a Git checkpoint before every long run and put explicit stop points in your prompts. Finish the plan, then stop and ask me. 1 line in your agents file, only use sub-agents if I explicitly ask. And here's a sneaky one that almost no one mentioned. If you're using the regular ChatGPT app, the fast default answer still comes from the old model. If you don't manually pick medium reasoning or higher, you're not even using 5.6. So guys, I hope you found this a little bit interesting. This was actually quite fun to put together. I think this is a really great way to watch one video and get a very strong feel for how 5.6 really is as a model. If you've liked this, if you'd like to see more meta-analyses of others such as Kimi K3 or Grok 4.5, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below. Do all the things that help me grow this channel. I'm brand new and all of your love helps me out a ton. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next video.